Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the good, the bad, the ugly of real estate. I'm super excited to share my guest today, and we will get to that. But first, that sounds so bad, but I'm Rebecca Usan with eXp Realty, and I am passionate about helping agents figure out how they need to prospect to get leads. So I'm sharing as much as I can with agents around the country with what they did to get their business started. So I'm doing a 10-week session on this with my besties who've been in the business for a while and just figured out quickly what was going to work for them. And they just went to town and they've had super success and they are sharing it with us throughout this 10 weeks. So with that, I have to introduce to you one of my faves, Melissa Falcon. Melissa, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So glad to have you. Melissa and I have known each other for quite a few years now. I think we met when I was selling homes for a builder.
Yes.
And she had some clients come and we sold a house together. And
Yes,
it's been
a few houses together, actually.
We have sold a few. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. She brings the best clients. She's very informative with her clients. They knew exactly what they were getting into. And she has built a very successful business with people that she knows in her sphere. So we're going to get into that. So typically we have a glass of wine when we're doing our podcast, but today, you guys, it's Monday and Melissa and I are focused on working, but we are still having some drinks. So Melissa, tell us what you're drinking today.
So I am drinking a Ghost energy drink here, Swedish Fish. They're super good, filled with caffeine, like 200 milligrams of caffeine. But they're really good. They do wake me up. So it's kind of like my morning coffee in the afternoon, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
They got all kinds of flavors. The orange cream is my favorite.
Okay. And that one, does it taste like Swedish Fish?
I guess. I've never had Swedish Fish, so I don't know. It tastes like fruit punch, kind
of. Okay. Well, I love Swedish Fish. So, okay. Well, I'm just drinking water today because everybody needs more water. Definitely.
That's what I should be drinking.
It's okay. We have a lot to do today, so you need your energy. So, and I also have to point out, I'm wearing my earrings that Melissa made for me. This girl will put beads on just about anything. Tell us what you're doing right now with your beading.
Oh boy. So I got all kinds of projects. I've been beading hats and earrings. I do keychains, lanyards. Oh gosh, what else I got back there? That's about it at the moment. Hats, shoes. Actually, I just started with some beads yesterday, so I'm going to bead around those. Here's some that I started.
Oh my!
They got the leopard print there.
So cute.
I love it.
Melissa is so talented. She's building an empire with her beading too. It's
my gosh.
Her shoes and her hats are so cool. So everybody wants them.
Hat right here that I just did.
Oh, you can see it.
She looks pretty.
I don't know. I can't see it yet. For some reason, our connection is slow, but hopefully it will pop up.
Okay.
Show it right now.
Show it right now. Hold on. I gotta get off again. I've got to find the camera. Where am I? Okay.
Oh.
Is it not working?
No. Oh, there it is. So cute. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do need some new hats. So maybe I'll have to send you an EXP hat for you to do up. That would be cute.
Oh, I got one.
Oh. Okay.
I got the tags on it because I just don't wear a whole lot of hats. I thought I would, and I don't.
Okay. I've been wearing hats. Okay, we're going to have to talk about that.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's get into talking more about you, Melissa, and how you've had so much success. So, first of all, tell us, how long have you been a licensed real estate agent?
So I've been licensed since 2014, April. So it's 9 years.
Oh my gosh, it goes so fast,
It
doesn't it?
does. I can't believe it. And I've loved every minute. I mean, we all have our moments, but overall, I absolutely love my job. They say, over all the years, oh, you'll never work a day in your life if you love your job. And I thought, oh, yeah, right. Well, when I got into this business, it's true. It really is. I kind of get emotional sometimes because I never thought I would actually have a job I absolutely love. So
love that. Oh, and for a while when you were starting, you had a full-time job too.
Yeah, for several years. So I started in 2014, and I worked a full-time job up until just a year and a half or so ago.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I was scared to take the leap. But at some point I couldn't do it anymore. Mentally, physically, I was just getting wore out, and I was getting short-tempered at my 8 to 5 job, and that's not me. I was becoming somebody that wasn't me, so I had to pick.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'm glad I picked it. It was the best choice I ever made. I wish I would have done it earlier, but everything falls in place when it's supposed to. So.
Yep. I remember having those conversations when you were trying to decide what to do. And I was super excited when you were ready to take the leap because I knew it was going to be a game changer for you, and it has been. So,
sure.
So tell me which markets you currently serve.
So for the most part, it's Grand Rapids market. The majority of my clients are in the Wayland, Allegan, Shelbyville, Dorr area. Lately, I've actually been reaching out to a few other areas. So I've been doing a little bit more in the Grand Rapids and getting familiar with that area as well. But the majority of my clients seem to be south of Grand Rapids.
Yep. Awesome. So Southwest Michigan. Yep. She definitely knows that market like the back of her hand. So, Yep. So what's your area of specialty? Like, what do you spend most of your time doing?
So the area that is my specialty would be, I don't know how many people are familiar with the Gun Lake tribe, but I work with a lot of the tribal members, and they have a tax agreement area that is exclusive to them. So if they live in that area, they are exempt from state taxes, not property tax, but state taxes. So like on big purchases, whether it's cars or I don't know, anything big, anything that you might get state tax. You work, you don't get charged state taxes. You don't have to pay for those. So their checks are. So a lot of people want to live in that area. I have the inn. My husband is a Gun Lake member, so that helps. But really where I got my foot in the door, it was when I worked for them. I worked for the Gun Lake tribal government. And, I started working there, and people start saying, oh, you're the realtor. And they put a, face with a name. And that's really where I got my boost. People started getting to know me and know who I was and realize, they could trust me, which is a huge thing. And that's kind of where it blew up over the years. I worked there for 3 years, and I just love that whole entire community. So.
Oh, yep. And I know they love you. That's another thing I've watched you grow those relationships and really become known in that community as someone you can really trust. So that's a big deal. So, and it only makes sense. Melissa did her personality profile with the DISC assessment, and it came back and told us she's a harmonizer. And that definitely is Melissa. So she's supportive, which is perfect for a real estate agent. You don't have to be pushy and try to close people. You support them and you encourage them and you help them get what they want. And that is definitely Melissa. And we just had an instance where a deal, it kind of went yucky. And Melissa just kept saying, why do we have to argue and fight? Why can't we just all get along? And I totally agree with that. So, but she came armed with her facts and she stuck to the facts. And in the end, her client won, not really won, but her client got what was rightfully his. And that's what mattered. And we both slept well that night, knowing that he got what he deserved. So, so anyway, okay. So that is Melissa. And yeah, it says that she struggles with conflicts and avoids connections with assertive individuals.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So tell me, when you first got started in the real estate business, what were you doing to build your relationships and get real estate transactions?
I kind of reached out to the people that I worked with and let them know I got my license. I did do some like flyers and stuff around the neighborhood. That didn't really get a whole lot from that. But I tried to focus on one area. My main area was, the tribal area, family. A big thing where I got a ton of my leads it wasn't right when I started, but over time was a Facebook Messenger. I literally went through every person on my messenger and introduced myself. Well, they knew who I was, but said, hey, I got my license, just wondering if you or anybody is interested in buying or selling a home. Thanks, and probably 80% of them write me back and say, no, but if I find anybody, I'll let you know. Or, a lot of them said, oh yeah, actually in the spring. And then I'd, make a little note of it. And in the spring I would check back that's really, I got a ton from that. And I still do that. Probably once a year I do that. And
I remember when you started doing that too, and it was crazy because other people were doing it at the same time you were doing it, but did not have near the success that you have. So it's so crazy. And it must be because people just trust you.
Could be.
And they believe in you because you're that kind of person. So, yeah, I love all this success you've had with that. Nice. So was there anything that you did in the beginning or even now for your prospecting that you just dread doing?
Door knocking. I don't do it anymore. I don't know. I just feel so awkward. That's really the only thing I dread doing. And I just, now that I've been doing it for a while and I get a lot of referrals, I don't have to do much of that anymore to keep busy, which is nice. But dread doing.
Yeah.
There's nothing about the job I dread. I mean, there's always things that pop up and you think, oh my God, really? Can't we just all get along? I mean, but it is what it is. I don't think anybody really likes conflict. I would say the majority of people. I mean, there are people that, argue about anything, but.
Yes.
Yeah. No, door knocking was really the only thing I didn't like. And you and I did it for a while. And I'm like,
we did. I know.
I'm here.
We're like probably the two worst door knockers that exist, but we did it.
Yeah, we did.
But you were giving out those cute trinket things, and I think that made a difference.
Good. I still do the schedules. So like every sports season. So I'm going to get ready to do baseball, and I do baseball and football. And what other one have I done? thought I did a different one, maybe not, but I try to do those just so that they kind of over time repetition, they'll be like, oh yeah, we got another schedule. And I've actually had people reach out to me, be like, hey, you got any more of them schedules? You know, I'm going to give them to so and so, or, you know, hey, I actually got something in the mail that's useful.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
something you just throw away. And I'm sure people do throw them away.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, hey, a lot of times people want to know if they're what time the game is, or if they want to go to a game, they can just magnet on the fridge. So
I love it. So even with that, you're telling us consistency actually does pay off.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's awesome. Okay. So you've really answered a lot of my questions already. So tell us, so I wonder, it's so weird. Like some people try and try and try and just never have success in their prospecting, but you just figured out really early on what was going to be good for you, and you just kept at it. You didn't quit, you stayed consistent, and now you're telling us that business still feeds you today.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
You know, when you first start, people think they're going to make all this money real quick. You know, I'm gonna make all this. And some people do.
Yep.
But it took me 6 months to get my first, you know, my first transaction, and it was scary and it was awful. Of course, it was my first transaction, and we had issues, but we got through it, and you know, whatever. But yeah, like just find your little niche, I guess, or your little sphere, and just keep doing it. Whether it's like, I don't know, like community stuff, like, you know, maybe the Rotary Club or the Lions Club, you know, church, you know, those people that you see all the time and they trust you. You know, you don't have to like pound it down their throats or anything. Like, hey, I'm an agent every time you see them, but you know, they get to know you, and I'm sure if they're on your social media of any sort, they're going to see you post stuff.
Yep.
And eventually, over time, they'll come around for sure.
Yep.
I mean, that's how I got started. It wasn't just right off the bat. I was, you know, selling houses. I wish.
Yep.
But
yeah.
You put yourself out there, and I don't know. Well, eventually it'll catch on. That's how it was with me, anyways.
Yep. Absolutely. And you just didn't sweat the small stuff. You just kept going. So let's say you're talking to little Melissa back in 2014 when she just got her real estate license, brand new, not really sure what to expect. What is your best advice to yourself as a brand new agent?
I would say don't stress out.
Ooh.
Don't stress out. Everything is so new, and you got all these forms and documents, and I know when you're starting out, they don't teach you. They teach you like the law and the stuff behind it, but they don't teach you everything else. That kind of just comes with experience. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Nobody's going to think you're crazy, because I still ask Rebecca questions all the time. But you know, I'd rather get an answer and tell my clients, hey, I don't know.
Yep.
Let me find out for you, than lie and then get yourself even further in the mud. And people appreciate that you're being honest. Just be honest. And if you don't know something, tell them you'll find out. You'll let them know. And if you say you're going to call them back, call them back. Don't just leave them hanging, or don't do it. Even if you don't have an answer, be like, hey, you know, I don't have an answer yet, but I just didn't want you to think I forgot about you.
Yeah.
You know, people appreciate that. You know, they don't expect you to just know everything right there and then. They know.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. And I keep going back to, you just said, don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to go buy a car this weekend, and I caught them lying to me, and I can never buy anything from them again, ever.
Yeah.
And you know, when you can't sleep at night because you didn't quite tell the truth, no,
No, not good.
Not good. It's not worth it. Just be honest. And
Yeah.
you can't be focused on getting that final commission. You have to be focused on doing what's best for your client.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I
For
know.
sure. I mean, money's money, I guess. And, you know, if you're a good agent and you're honest, even if it's something they don't want to hear, if you're honest, they're going to send people to you. They're going to come back to you. They're, you know,
Yep.
I mean, that's how I operate too. You know, I'd rather somebody be upfront with me than try to keep something from me because they're afraid I'm gonna bail or whatever, be mad or
Yep.
whatever the case may be. So
Absolutely. I love it. Well, and all of this is why you will continue to have huge success and constantly sought after for your expertise. So, Melissa, thank you so much for taking the time to share with us today. I know you are going to have an impact on so many people who are thinking about getting into the business or struggling a little bit on what to do. So I really appreciate you helping our industry.
well, thank you. And I enjoy every minute. Thanks for having me on today. It was fun. I always love chatting with you. So
I know I do too.
cheers.
Melissa will call me and say, I'm so sorry to bug you. And I'm like, what? We get to talk. Call me all the time.
I do miss
So with that, everyone, go be amazing, have huge success, and we'll see you next time on the good, the bad, the ugly of real estate. Bye-bye.
Bye.